guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick run today with my 1/7 King Motors WRC Rally car. This is the Citroen model, and this thing's pretty sick, man. I just ran it for a little bit. I'll show you guys some running video. First, we'll take a look and see what this car's got going on inside. Really great looking car. I'll show you some of the details. I'm not going to go into too many of the specs. I'll link it up down below if you want. You can check out their website and check out all the specs. Just wanted to do a quick review on this thing, take it out for a rip, and see how it goes. A lot of fun. I need to find a better spot to run this thing. It sits pretty low to the ground in the front, and it catches a lot of gravel and rocks, and that's the only bad thing I'd say about this type of car. Like any kind of rally car, is you really need to find the right spot to run these things. Especially just mainly due to the ground clearance, and I don't really want to tear up this body. It's a really beautiful body, so I'm not trying to push it too hard here. I need to find someplace a little less rocky to go and rip this thing. And let me show you what we got going on. This is a 1/7 scale rally car. Really nice working lights, got daytime running lights that turn into signals when you turn the wheels. It does have headlights. The control on these is a little funky. To turn them on and off, you're supposed to turn the wheel to the right twice really quick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if it has to be within a certain amount of time from plugging in the battery or turning on I need to figure that out. But anyway, they work. These are nice and bright. And it does have working tail lights with reverse lights, so that's really cool. It's got a nice diffuser down here. The body is kind of multiple pieces here. A lot of nice like molded plastic, the molded plastic wing, the mirrors, little hood vents here, the little deflectors up front. And it is multiple pieces of Lexan, and it's nice heavy duty Lexan. I'll show you the inside of the body in a second. Really tough body, but again, it sits low. And when it bottoms out, it's bottomed out. You know what I mean? So if you're running through rocks, gravel, roots and stuff, it's gonna catch. Luckily, this is pretty thick Lexan, but still, I might have to crank the preload in the front to keep it riding high. It does have these nice Lexan inner fenders. You'll get a better look when I take the body off here. Nice interior with driver figures. It's a really, really scale looking car. I love the way this thing looks. And it's 3S, 4S capable. I'll show you what we got going on inside. And, nice rally style tires here. Super nice car, man. Body off. This is a clipless body. There is a little tab underneath in the back here, and then there's a tab on either side, and the front has like 3 pins that press into this big foam bumper. This stainless skid pan is not stock. That's an aftermarket part I put on along with the back piece there. But you could see a really nice undercarriage here, really kind of streamlined. It does get a lot of crap built up if you're running in gravel and kind of loose dirt and leaves and debris. I was getting a lot of debris in here to the point where a little rock chunk got caught in the pinion gear and chewed it up a little bit. And it was a little bit noisy, but then it kind of worked itself out. So it could probably be sealed up even a little bit better, even though these inner fender wells do work pretty good. I might look and see if there's any other way I can seal up this, or maybe even do a mesh dust cover inside would probably be good, especially in the colder weather. It's not going to be a heat issue, but just to keep some of the debris out of the moving parts inside. So let me show you the inside here. So we got working signals here, brake lights, reverse lights. Let me swing this around to the front. Okay, so there we go. Somehow I got the headlights working. And you'll see the daytime running lights turn into signals. So really, really nice lighting kit on this car. I mean, extremely nice. And you have a lot of functions with this where you could turn, you can mess with the coloration of the daytime running lights. You could have them full amber all the time. You could turn the headlights on and off. So you do have a lot of options that are all set from the controller here. So it's just a matter of like I said, turning the headlights off. I have to read through the manual again. I thought it was 2 quick turns left, but I'm not sure. It's a little confusing, but ultimately it looks extremely nice. The other super cool feature, which I absolutely love that they added to this car, is you have from channel 3 here, or you could assign it to any channel, I guess, but this has a switchable 2-wheel drive to all-wheel drive. So right now, that's rear-wheel drive only, and then, kind of hard to see, but Yeah, so you can choose between two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. So if you want to drift this thing around, pop it into two-wheel drive, and it's a complete drift machine, especially if you're on grippier surface and you want to drift it, but you're getting too much traction in all-wheel drive, just click it into two-wheel drive, and this thing drifts like crazy. And then you have the option of all-wheel drive for looser terrain, like what we have here. I think that's a super cool feature if you want to go and rip this thing around in like a paved parking lot. Swap out the tires, put on some I would put on some Arma Hoons just for like drifting on pavement. So these tires, stock tires, will wear out extremely quick if you're drifting around on pavement. So I would not recommend that, but you can put on some Arma Hoons. They should fit on here nicely, and go and rip this thing in two-wheel drive in a parking lot, and you could have a blast with it. Okay, so just got this thing plopped on my bike rack here, so if you're wondering what that is. But running this on 4S, so it's 3S, 4S capable. I think it came with a Dean's connector. I soldered up an EC5. So it has a WP BL100 ESC. Nice big motor, 4074 can, 2100 kV motor. I added this fan onto the motor. It was getting a little bit hot. I added the heatsink and the fan, honestly. It didn't come with a heatsink. I'm pretty sure this is stock too, but a nice like machined aluminum receiver box. Here's your steering servo. So I did change out the horn on here. It just had like a plastic horn. I didn't like that. This is a Techno horn that fit on here really nicely. I'll link that up below. And here's your little shift servo for the two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So really nice setup in here. It's got great power. I didn't do a speed run on this yet, but it's fast enough for off-road, especially on 4S. These are the inner fenders here. They do a pretty good job, but you can see how dirty and dusty this thing is. I'm thinking a lot of the debris just comes up through here. So I may just do like a mesh bag, because you know, I had a little rock get jammed up in here, and it took a nice chunk out of the spur gear. This does have a plastic spur gear. Anyway, yeah, it took a chunk out of the spur gear. It was a little noisy, but I'll let it ride for now. Maybe I can find, I think they make like a metal spur gear for this thing. These tires, really nice. I don't know the size of these offhand, but let's flip this over and get another look. Okay, so here's the bottom of the chassis. Yeah, you know, it's gonna take a little bit of abuse, but nice beefy arms, control arm. These are optional parts that you can get from King Motors. You can find a lot of this stuff on AliExpress. A lot of parts for this, different A, B, C, D blocks here for the hinge pins. And my one frustration with this, it is these little clips. It's not intuitive, right? So you press this clip and press, I always try to press up on it thinking this is attached to the body, but it's not. So these have to release from the body. I tried, you know, sanding these down a little bit. They really kind of get hung up. They're a little sticky. The rear one comes off pretty easily. These two side pieces, so it's not the easiest body to get on and off. But yeah, this is where the body posts key in. So you get a nice, really supportive, the body, once it's on, it fits really nice, and it's on there, extremely secure, and it's very well supported, but it's just a little tricky to get off. So maybe I just need to sand these down a little bit, or maybe just a little edge on the bottom of the body is getting caught up. But anyway, not a huge deal. The only other thing I'd say, it does have an adjustable battery tray. This is like a 6200 4S battery, so it's at the limits here of what's going to fit in there. Like I said, you can adjust these in or out, but I kind of wish they had left this side open a little more, but not a big deal. I think this is about the biggest battery I'm going to run in here, so that works pretty well. Sway bars front and rear. Really nice aluminum body, coilover shocks with your little rubber boot for protection in there. It's got nice aluminum machined shock towers. So yeah, if you buy one of these and it doesn't have all of these machine parts on it, don't be mad with me, because I did not get this car brand new. I got this thing very lightly used on a trade, and he had done a handful of little things. Like I said, I added the motor and I added the motor, heatsink, and fan, but maybe, I don't know if some of these parts, I feel like they probably were stock, but he may have changed a couple other things before I got this thing. So just be aware, take a good look at the pictures and see what it comes with. But ultimately, really great car. I need to just find, I have a couple ideas of where I can go to run this thing to really open it up. This spot here, there's just too many like little chunks of gravel and stuff. This stuff will really destroy the the front of the body and the chassis if you keep ripping on it. Here's the bottom. Here's the inside of the chassis. Here's these 3 posts that key into the front. Really nice kind of lighting system in here. Everything is very well protected. The wirings run all nice and neatly. Here's your lighting control board. Pretty fancy stuff here. It does have a little button on here. I forget, there are different modes you can scroll through. There's a lot of options. There's like a 2-page manual just for the lighting kit on this alone, but extremely nice body. Really heavy Lexan, really thick. Yeah, super nice kit. Came with this FlySky G7P controller, which a lot of people like. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like how it goes through the menu. It's just not, I don't know. It's not, like, to go back, you have to press left instead of down. It's confusing compared to all of the other controllers I have, like the FlySky Noble's way more intuitive. The GT5 is extremely, you don't need to have a manual at all for a GT5. You can figure everything out immediately. This one is kind of confusing, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Also, I believe this comes with a gyro on the receiver, but for whatever reason, this controller, at least with the software I have in here, does not support the gyro function. So that's super annoying. I would like to have the gyro enabled on this car, especially for the 2-wheel drive mode. I think that would be cool. So I may switch this out and just run this on my GT5. I don't need anything super fancy, really just need, you know, steering, throttle, and then one other additional channel for the 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive function, and just keep it simple. going to do it for this video. Just wanted to do a quick review and just give you my thoughts on this car. I really like it. I had a lot of fun. I just got to find a smoother place to drive this thing. Might take it to my local outdoor track and see how it does. I don't think it's going to hit the jumps all that well because the front end tends to compress and like snowplow the jump. I think you need to have a very like low, short roller of a jump, and I think it's going to do good. I have a few ideas in mind where to run this thing. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.